I'm Veggie Vardarajan here. I've come back again to show you something very interesting, something that's extremely popular, delicious, made on special days for celebrations, calling family home, or when the priests come home to do something special, or in a marriage function where the morning time they do all the traditional dishes. And one such iconic dish is the Paruppu Usili, which is done with any vegetable. Paruppu Usili it's a steamed dal crumble added with stir-fried vegetables and done with sesame oil, added with all the spices. It is just absolutely unimaginable, the taste. Anybody tasting it for the first time will definitely want to have it again and again. So let's start off without much ado. So the dal that we use is the tur dal. When I soak it with dried red chilies, salt, hing and turmeric powder, it grows in size. So I can soak it in hot water too, it doesn't matter. So the next stage is I blend it. When I blend it, this is the grainy texture I get. And then I steam it. I steam it, and once it's done, I cool it to crumble. So in the meantime, I have got a vegetable ready to add to it, and that vegetable is beans today. I'm going to be doing with beans, with cooked soft beans, adding to it, and also another one with green peppers, that is capsicum. So let me first crumble this, and then I'll tell you what the next step is. So we'll start off. I've already crumbled the lentil, the steamed lentil, that is the tur dal that we use here. And I will be first heating up the oil and seasoning it with mustard seeds. So that is the first stage. You always season everything in the South Indian cuisine with almost either mustard seed most of the time or a jeera. So the oil is heated up. You can see the smoke coming. So it's heated up. I have added little mustard seeds. It's always sesame oil always lets in a lot of smoke. So that's why you see the smoke like this. At this stage, I won't allow it to pop everywhere because that might burn. I almost got one in my neck. So here, when it's almost done, I add this. So we can lower the heat so it won't be very fast when it pops. You don't want all the mustards to finish popping. You don't want all the mustards to finish popping because it might blacken. So when it's almost done, add the lentil. So I add a lot of vegetables to my usili. People don't generally add, but I add a lot of lentils, a lot of vegetables, because that is a good feeling that you're having something healthy. I just give it a stir for some time. And if it's a little too hard, I can soften it by sprinkling a little water. We will see if it's necessary. What it needs is some little water and a little more extra oil so it doesn't get lumpy, but it gets crumbly because of the oil that we use. So I'm going to be telling you because once it steams, it becomes a little hard. You have to break it down into small crumbles without any lumps in it. I could sprinkle a little water, maybe, not more than that. Okay. And then at this stage, I'm going to remove a little to keep it aside for the green peppers. Okay. I'm going to add the rest of it for the beans that has already been boiled and all ready to be added to this. about half a cup or 3/4 cup of tur dal. Add about 200 grams of beans, not more than that. That should be sufficient. I think this one is good enough. Here, I should be seeing a lot of beans in it, not a lot of lentils, but more of beans than lentils. So this is the correct quantity I'm looking for. So we taste for the hing, for the salt, the spice level. If you feel the spice is a little less, you can add in more. It depends on the kind of red chilies, dried red chilies you're using. Some are very spicy, some are less spicy. You would know as you keep using it in this cuisine. So whatever is required or needed or desired by your family, you can add or lessen more. It's your option, but it has to be spicy. It has to be the right amount of salt, and for the flavor, you have the sesame and the hing to add to all that wonderful taste. This is the famous Paruppu Usili that we call in Tamil, which is a steamed crumbled lentil, which is stir-fried in sesame oil, seasoned with mustard and stir-fried in sesame oil, and a boiled vegetable of your choice. You could even add a banana flour, which is very traditional. You first cook the banana flour in turmeric, in salt, cut it into small pieces. That is a different process altogether, how you cut a banana flour. That's an art. The beans purposely is done. So now I'll be showing you the other purposely. So we kept back a little crumble, which has already been seasoned with mustard. So that is going to be used for the green peppers. So I've cut them. The green pepper cannot be boiled. It has to be stir-fried because it has to be a little crispy, but it gets done fast. So here's what I'm going to do. So I have this little bit of green peppers. I'm going to add this to this oil and allow it to stir fry. So let me add a little turmeric. So it gives an extra color to the green pepper. I'm going to keep it a little closed. So just for about a minute, because I don't want it to be soft and completely cooked. I want a little crispiness to remain, but still it has to be done. So I will add very little salt, maybe a pinch of it to this, because there's already enough salt in the crumble. I'm going to add a little, very little hing. I thought it might be needed. And now I am going to stir it and close it. Just for a minute. Hardly a minute. I have to remove this thing. And this always gets cooked fast. It cooks in its own water. It has a lot of water, the green pepper. So let me just pinch it and see whether it's done. I added very little salt. So it's done. So at this point, I add the rest of the crumble that I had kept aside to make the capsicum usili. Here you go. When you are doing the final flourish, when it's almost done, you have to keep it on a little low flame, medium to low flame, because you want it to get done fast. You don't want the lentil to get crispy. The lentil should be soft and crumbly, not crispy. I'm done. I can see the flavor of the capsicum, and at this stage, this is already wet. So I'm just going to add some crushed curry leaves, and this dish is done. So try this at home. It is very easy to do. It just has different steps, because you soak it first and then you blend it and then you steam the lentil. Keep it aside to cool and then crumble. So those are the 4 steps. The 5th step is you cut the vegetable, whatever you're going to use, boil it, keep it aside with water, make it as green as possible, softened, keep it aside, and then season the oil. Sesame oil works best for this dish. Season the oil with mustard, add a little washed curry leaves, and then the crumbled lentil, and then give it a little stir. And then when you know it's crumbled and just perfect, right, you taste for all the spices, whether they're okay, then add the vegetable and then give it a stir. Maybe it might need a little sprinkling of water, but make sure it doesn't get lumpy. Try it. Try it at home. You would love this dish because I taught you in the easiest manner possible. You cannot go wrong with this dish. So let me come back. So let me sign off right now. Come back with another dish next time. And in the meantime, like and subscribe my channel and write for any comments below, doubts or otherwise, and I'm there to answer you every time you send me a query. This is Viji'sVeggieVignettes signing off until next time.